Coming up on Shelby this week, the police department opened their doors for a great opportunity for the community. And we were there to join in on the fun. And mark your calendars now because we have the date for the next open house in our community. We'll tell you about it next. And one state representative pushed for an increase in pay for serving on a jury. We'll tell you how much this increase is and when you can expect it. We have all this and much more coming up on Shelby This Week. The police department opened its doors for their annual open house, and the community was invited to join in on the fun. Stacy Sansatera has more from this fall event.
Today is our second annual open house.
And this open house is a great way to showcase our police department. With tours, displays, food, and demonstrations, there was something for everyone.
Show me your hands! Oh, you watch it? Watch it? Yeah. Sell it! There you go. There you go, buddy! There you go! Good job, Nico!
And there is no doubt that this event was hot, both in attendance and weather.
The idea started last year. Our superstar officer, Leslie Heisler, wanted to have an open house. I blessed it, and we had about 700 people show up last year.
Well, it took almost a whole year to get back to where we are today. Everybody that participated last year was kind of waiting to see if we were going to do it again, and thankfully, thanks to the Department of the Community, of course, here we are. And then we started to build on it. So we've got double the amount of tactical vehicles. We've got 3 more police departments that are participating this year that didn't participate last year. We've got other community groups. The Optimist Club is here, AAA is here, Walgreens is here. Everybody wants to get involved, and I only see that building.
And with so many distractions, no one seemed bothered by the temperatures.
We have SWAT vehicles, we have helicopters, we have vehicles from the Michigan State Police. They're celebrating their 100-year anniversary. We have everything you can imagine out here for the kids to have a great time.
This annual event was the perfect definition of community coming together.
You know, a lot of departments that I see that have problems with their community, they're not connected with their community. We have a great trust and respect for each other in our community, the police department and our residents and our business owners. This is a way for the families to come out and let the kids come out and reach out and touch their vehicles, touch us, talk to us, see that we're human beings, and hopefully inspire little guys to want to get into law enforcement one day and specifically work for the Shelby Township Police Department.
Another outstanding day with the Shelby Township Police Department. For Shelby This Week, I'm Stacy Sansatera.
Good boy.
If you're interested in seeing more from the open house, you can catch the latest edition of Straight Talk with Chief Shalide airing on Shelby TV. Fire Prevention Week this year is October 8th through the 14th, and to close out the week, the Shelby Township Fire Department will host their annual open house. Everyone from the community is invited to come. The event will be held on October 14th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Fire Station Number 1 on 23 Mile Road. The station will be open for tours, and you will also be able to meet with local firefighters and, of course, Sparky the dog. This is a family-friendly event, and everyone is invited to come and check out the fire station. A resident from Shelby Township was arraigned on embezzlement charges. 56-year-old Ernest Romer III is accused of defrauding 2 Macomb senior citizens and taking more than $220,000 and transferring it into his own personal account. He allegedly took the money and spent it at places like Kroger, Meijer, Walmart, Target, and various gas stations and restaurants. Authorities also say he deposited the money into his children's accounts. The state of Michigan has taken away Romer's brokerage license, and he has been fined over $1 million from the state. Romer faces charges of 2 counts of embezzlement. A former Dakota high school teacher found herself not in the classroom, but instead behind bars early Thursday morning. 29-year-old Lydia Johnson taught Spanish and served as the school's student activity coordinator dating back to 2016 until she was placed on administrative leave on May 3, 2017. All of this is according to school officials. Authorities say Johnson oversaw ticket sales for Dakota High School's homecoming dance last year. They say she deposited only $11,000 into the school account, but the total should have been $30,000. She also oversaw the student and parent trip to Camp Tamarack. For that, they say she should have turned in $13,000, but only gave the school $500. Bank records show her deposits exceed her salary, and school officials found empty deposit envelopes in her classroom. MGM casino records show Johnson spent more than $90,000 playing penny slots. Johnson has been charged with 1 count of embezzlement from a nonprofit organization and could face a maximum of 10 years in prison if she is found guilty of those charges. A pay increase will be seen by Michigan jurors. State Representative Peter Lucido submitted a legislation to give jurors an improvement in pay and transportation reimbursement for serving in civil and criminal court proceedings. Previously, jurors were paid $25 on the first full day of trial and $12.50 for a half a day. The mileage reimbursement was set at 10 cents per mile. With the new bill in place, jurors will see a $5 increase and a 10-cent increase on mileage. Representative Lucido was adamant on making this change to pay for potential jurors who serve time and lose out on lost wages at work. The pay and mileage increase will start April 1st of 2018. Still ahead on Shelby this week, it's officially fall and we have a list of cider mills for the whole family to enjoy this season. And hunting season is upon us and we have the details you'll want to know before you head out. And over 100 years have passed since this war veteran served in the military. A special ceremony was held in his honor, and we'll tell you all about this man's service. Stay with us because we have much more on Shelby This Week.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
One-Eyed Jack's might not sound familiar to you just yet, but the new charity poker room, bar, and restaurant may be a place you want to check out.
2, 3, hey! Everybody stay. Don't
We
move.
bought what used to be called the River Charity Poker Lounge about a year and a half ago. It's now called One-Eyed Jack's. Want to tell everybody, hey, it's not just about charity poker. We have lots of things going on. We got some great food. We got some great sandwiches and pizza and burgers.
There's something going on every day of the week. If you want to find out more information, visit them on Facebook. One-Eyed Jack's is located on Van Dyke between 21 and 20 Mile right here in Shelby Township. It's officially fall across the country, and here in Michigan, there's no better way to spend an autumn day than at the apple orchard. In Macomb County, we have a lot of orchards to choose from. Macomb Living put together a list of local cider mills and orchards around the county, and here's a few. Located right here in Shelby Township, Middleton Farms Cider Mill offers freshly made donuts, pies, and caramel apples. You can find out more information about them on their Facebook page just by searching Middleton Farms. High's Cider Mill, located in Romeo, features a cider mill and you pick apples. There's also a petting farm, farmers market, and picnic area. The cider mill is open only on weekends. Miller's Big Red Apple Orchard in Washington Township has hay rides, a corn maze, and a straw mountain. They also make all of their cider and donuts fresh. They're open Monday through Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Located in Armada, Blake's Orchards and Cider Mill fills the fall months with fun family activities. They have a petting farm, a pumpkin patch, and much more. You can find them online at blakefarms.com. And these are just a few orchard and cider mills in the area. To see a full list, visit MacombLivingNow.com. And speaking of fall, once we get over this heat wave, it'll finally start to look and feel like autumn outside, which only means one thing: football is here to stay. Catch up on your hometown favorites on Shelby this week, and we have your game highlights.
Week 5 football action in the MAC Red as your undefeated Eisenhower Eagles would travel to Barnabow Field to take on the 3-1 Romeo Bulldogs. It would be all Eagles from the get-go as Max Whitwer scrambles out of the pocket and lobs a pass downfield to a wide-open Jack Morris. And Morris gets upfield and gets the Eagles down near the red zone. But the Bulldogs' defense would eventually halt their opening drive as Asad Buhaidar nails a 38-yard field goal to put the Eagles on top, 3-0. After a Bulldogs 3-and-out, the Eagles would get the ball back and they would start driving as Max Whitwer steps back to pass and threads the needle to Ian Kennelly for an Eagles first down. On the very next play, Caleb Oyster would get good blocking, gets upfield, and stiff arms his way into the end zone from 28 yards out, putting the Eagles on top, 10-0. After another Bulldogs punt, the Eagles would waste no time driving as Buhaidar gets the pitch from Whitwer, and Buhaidar runs for 20 yards and a first down into Bulldogs territory. And now in the second quarter, Whitwer launches one deep downfield and connects with Ben Metz as he is taken down on the Bulldogs' 5-yard line. And the Eagles would cap off the drive in style as Jack Morris gets the pitch off the fake to Oyster. And Morris finds Pater, putting the Eagles up 17-0. Following a third straight punt from Romeo, Caleb Oyster would get his second touchdown of the game as he takes it in from 14 yards out, putting the Eagles up 24-0. Romeo would look to punt after getting pinned deep down in their own zone, but a low snap would force Eric Freeman to just get rid of the football, turning the ball back over to the Eagles with great field position. And the Eagles would look to capitalize as Ben Metz makes the catch on the pass from Max Whitwer, and Caleb Oyster would get his third touchdown of the game, giving the Eagles a 31-0 lead before the halftime break. And that's all the Eagles would need as they would go on to win from a final score of 34-0. Next up, the 1-4 Lance Cruz North Crusaders.
Utica trying to get a bad taste out of their mouth from last week as they face Kuzno Pagasic. The nice diving catch by Sam Narush. The drive finally ends with this 42-yard scamper by Christian Gegovic into the end zone. They're up 7-0. Punt return for Kavan Higdon. Down the sideline, taking it to the house, 82 yards. Now they're up 14-0. Christian Gegovic gets his second TD on the night, cutting his way through Warren Kuzno defenders. 21 yards. Going into the half, Darren Pagasic into the hands of Kavan Higdon, backing into the end zone, 28-0. Kuzno finally getting on the board, Ryan Runyon in the Wildcat. From 2 yards out, Utica would answer back Hitesh Kumar, forcing his way into the end zone. 35-7. Ensuing kickoff, Ryan Runyon from the 1 takes it back 76 yards. Kuzno driving, trying to cut the lead. Michael Chavdarov, but intercepted by Kavan Higdon. Later on, Kuzno with the ball again. Michael Chavdarov completing a pass here to Stephen Nemo to get them into Utica territory. Ending with Chavdarov with the keeper into the end zone. 35-13. Utica still leads. Michael Chavdarov, 2-point conversion to Stephen Nemo, but that wouldn't be enough. Final score, Utica Chieftains 35, Warren Kuzno Patriots 15.
Hunting season is upon us, and for everyone out there who has a love for hunting, or if you want to know more, we have you covered. Robert Gambrell visited Moore Archery and talked about the basics of hunting.
The colors of the leaves are changing. The temperature is dropping. The pumpkins are ready for picking. So take out your camouflage jackets because hunting season is approaching. I'm here at Moore Archery where hunting is a priority, but safety is more important.
Well, obviously, it starts with the equipment. So we sell top-line equipment with obviously the best safety features out there. Example, crossbows. There are certain crossbows out there that do not offer safeties on them or anti-drive fire things of that nature. With the crossbows that we currently serve people in the store, have all those entities built into them, which is fantastic. Also, safety in the tree stands. We always, every single year, promote safety harnesses and climb lines, which is a line that will attach from the top of the tree to the bottom of the tree. And that's what we absolutely push every single year in our fall and our winter leagues and our summer leagues as well, where every time when we start and end a league, we always start with safety first. It's the most important thing. Injuries from bow and arrows or crossbows are actually a lot smaller than people think. It's actually tree stands. That's where most of the injuries come from. There are issues with crossbows that you always have to watch out for, where your fingers are located essentially before you shoot it. That's why there's warning labels and safeties all over the place. But the most important thing in the hunting world is in and out of that tree stand. And that's why we absolutely promote safety harnesses and climb lines. You should always be attached to the tree at all times.
12.5 million people hunt every year. Why is that so?
I believe that it's a great pastime for sure. You know, it's a great bonding experience with your family. It's not just father-son, it's also father-daughter. So that's where it all started. You know, you had to go out there and provide for your family. That's what we're still carrying on as a tradition today.
Moore Archery has something for the little ones as well.
In the kids' leagues, I love that when we run them, it's in the wintertime, February and March, and sometimes in April as well. And the weather's terrible. Kids can't get outside and play and do stuff, so we get them in here, we get them shooting, we have a ton of fun. We make it a lot of fun with the kids where I incorporate games for all the kids. So the first half hour, we shoot at paper targets and balloons and things of that nature. They have chances to win prizes and money, things of that nature. And then the last half hour, we get all our 3D animals out that are currently set up now for adult leagues, and the kids shoot that. And they absolutely have a riot, and they absolutely impress me because they shoot fantastically and they never complain.
Don't forget the hunting season is just around the corner. And if you need help with any supplies, Moore Archery is here to help you. And don't forget, safety first. Reporting from Moore Archery, I'm Robert Gambrell, Shelby This Week.
If you would like a list of approved hunting locations throughout the state of Michigan, visit michigan.gov/DNR. 185 years have gone by, but one Revolutionary War veteran will finally receive full military honors. Arthur Schenck has more on the military man who was one of the city of Utica's first residents.
Local politicians and dignitaries gathered this past week at Utica Cemetery to help honor an American soldier for his service to our country. For 2 years, Nathaniel Squire served as private in the United States Army, where he fought in many battles. He then came home from war and moved to the Utica area, where he committed himself to the betterment of Shelby Township. But unlike most war veterans who settled in the area, Nathaniel Squire was a veteran of the American Revolution.
Today we honor Nathaniel Squire for his service. He was committed to his convictions, along with all the other patriots who gave us our Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and a nation of free people.
That made the recognition of his service to his country with military honors a patriotic event, even if it was 185 years after his death. headstone was also unveiled to replace the one that had been lost over the years. Also on hand to witness the event were many descendants of Private Squire, who not only appreciate his service to the nation, but his work done here after the war, which helped grow and guide the area.
I'm just really excited about it all. I love my country, and to see how much my relatives love the country too, you know, it just really makes me feel good. I'm encouraged. They loved the country way back then enough to fight and die, like a lot of our people are today. And you know, I see so much discouragement that this encourages me tremendously. And all these people here that showed up to honor, you know, someone who served in the Revolutionary War, that just blesses my heart.
Whether it was sharing his wagon, starting a religious congregation, or serving as treasurer and overseer of the roads of Shelby Township, or helping start this small community, this Connecticut-born patriot planted his roots deep into Michigan. Reporting for Shelby This Week, I'm Arthur Schenk.
And still ahead on Shelby This Week, clear your mind all while getting in a good workout. Learn how yoga can help you in your everyday life. And as we move into fall, the Shelby Beautification Committee needs your help. We'll tell you what they're doing and the volunteers they need. Stay with us because there's plenty more on Shelby This Week.
Open road, here comes the Heffley family.
Whether it's a short trip or a long haul.
Estimated time, 47 hours.
They will beg.
You're hungry? I'm happy to provide.
They will plead.
Deep fried butter on a stick.
But whatever you do, don't wimp out.
Now you're talking.
Make them buckle up.
He can't hurt.
Remember, safety first. Cheese curls second.
Are you orange?
Welcome back. Have you ever wanted to get a good workout in and become more relaxed? Well, we may have found the right kind of exercise for you. Our Courtney Bennett explains.
With everything that's going on in the world, it's hard to find peace. But here at Bliss Yoga, they have found a way to do so.
So yoga is a moving type of exercise in some ways, but we use the breath. The breath is the core or the cornerstone of yoga. So it's always the breath first and the poses are secondary. So we're working on building some strength, flexibility, some calmness in our bodies, maybe taking this out into our lives so when we're in a traffic jam, we can remind ourselves to just breathe a little deeper and naturally calm our body down instead of having so much stress in our lives. So it kind of tones down that stress that we typically have in our everyday life.
You don't have to be an expert when it comes to this exercise, and there's a lot to gain from the practice.
Most people that come to yoga are actually not flexible. They gain that flexibility through yoga, but they gain so much more too. They get muscle strength and just their mind is calmer, which is a huge benefit, especially in the world today with the way things are. It's so nice to be able to come to a space and leave feeling so much more just relaxed and calm in your life.
People that do come into yoga who've never done it before think that they need to be able to touch their toes, and it's not about touching your toes. Everybody can touch your toes, you just need to bend your knees, you know? So it's really just about, once again, getting into your own practice. So 90% of the people who come into our studio have never done yoga before, and we're very aware of that. And so we try to make everybody feel really comfortable just knowing that you don't have to look a certain way. You know, it's okay to look like you, and we're not gonna ever touch you and force you into anything. So we allow the students to empower themselves to move in a way that feels best for them.
Christy has been doing yoga for 20 years, and as she explains, it's become a community for her.
I think a lot of it is the community of people that kind of come together, but it's a community that's really cool. Everybody's really nice, but if you're kind of like I don't really want to hang out and talk to people person, it's somewhere where you can come and be with yourself, but yet you're not alone. So I think that that is a cool thing about yoga.
Yoga is something anyone can do anywhere. Many of the poses you can try right in your own living room. Give it a try. This is Courtney Bennett reporting for Shelby This Week.
Yoga could be done anywhere and at any time, but if you're looking for a studio, check out Bliss Yoga in Shelby Township. You can also visit them online at blissyoga.us. The Shelby Township Beautification Committee needs you. The organization is looking for welcome sign volunteers.
The Beautification Committee has maintained and had constructed about 7 signs around the perimeters of the township, and they are well landscaped, and some of them have fallen a little bit off, and we're trying to rectify that. And we will look for volunteers who help us to plant annuals, maintain them, put down some mulch, and maybe look after a particular site with a little extra care in the summer months. There's lots of help from the committee, including money to cover cost of mulch and annuals, but we need someone with that extra caring eye to put down some beautiful color.
If you're interested in volunteering and helping out the group, you can call the Shelby Township Clerk's Office at 586-731-5102. Utica Community Schools is branching out and providing a new way for students to have access to literature. Ernest Buckler has more on this initiative for students.
Back when I was in school, the library was an underutilized asset to the community, but now Utica Community Schools is making it easier for students to use it.
The partnership with the Suburban Library Collaborative and Shelby Township is part of that. And earlier this summer, they came to us and said that they had a library card that would actually give students the opportunity to have access to the library and all its digital resources. We said yes, we would be happy to sign up because we have actually emphasized our students leveraging digital resources in our schools.
Every student in the district is issued a student ID card, which has always been the case, except now that ID card is also a virtual library card.
We are so excited to be able to offer this opportunity to all the students in Shelby Township, as well as the entire Utica Community School District. And our goal, really, the Suburban Library Cooperative's goal is to have every child in Macomb County have a virtual library card. So that's what we're working towards. This is the big piece of the puzzle for Macomb County.
With this virtual card, students will be able to get more access to the library's resources without physically going to the library, which is a valuable resource for students as the school year is nearly now a month old.
I think it's really cool because not only does it help kids who wouldn't have access to it normally, it has, there's kids who have access to this sort of thing, but they don't really value it, and it makes it that much more accessible to, learn new things and get help with your homework and stay updated on what's happening in the news, even when you're just a kid.
When logging into the virtual library portal, all students need is their student ID number, and then, boom, all the resources become accessible with one click of a button. For Shelby This Week, I'm Nick Buckler.
And that's it for us here at Shelby This Week. You can watch us all the time on ShelbyTV and search for us on Facebook. We'll leave you now with more scenes from inside the Shelby Police Department at their open house. Thanks for watching.
Oh, good boy! There we go, buddy! There we go!